Okay, let's jump right in. Today we're looking at an app called Bitcoin Master. The whole idea, the pitch is basically P2E, play to earn, promises you, big Bitcoin rewards, all just for playing games. Sounds pretty fun, pretty simple on the face of it.
Yeah, and that appeal, that simplicity is really powerful. It pulls a lot of people into this whole play-to-earn space.
Hmm.
But our mission here, for you listening, is to kind of separate that out. Look past the fun gameplay part.
Yeah.
We need to figure out what the actual financial side looks like. Where does the appeal stop? And maybe where the red flags start?
Exactly. Because this is where it starts getting a bit murky, moving from promise to, well, the payout reality. So the core mechanic we found requires users to hit a, frankly, really high withdrawal threshold. You can't even try to cash out before then. The figure that kept coming up was 0.25 BTC.
And that number, 0.25 BTC, it's really important to understand what that means, depending on the market, obviously. But we're often talking thousands of dollars. Real money. It's not, a couple of bucks or a coffee voucher. You're potentially sinking hundreds of hours chasing something substantial.
So it's a huge prize, which makes you wonder.
Well, that high threshold, it's almost certainly strategic, right? It's not just some random number. It makes sure you invest a ton of time before you can even find out if the payout system actually works.
Right. Right. But hitting that number, that huge barrier, that's apparently just the first problem. What seems to happen next, based on user reports, is pretty telling. People hit the 0.25 BTC, and then suddenly the rules change. The goalposts move.
Exactly, moving the goalposts. And that speaks volumes about the likely model here. Think about it, they aren't really selling Bitcoin. They're selling hope. And they're making money from ads. Ads watched during the massive amount of time you spend grinding towards that impossible target.
So after hitting the BTC goal, users said suddenly, like, oh, now you need to watch 100 specific ads.
Or reach some crazy high level that's basically impossible, yeah. Or sometimes the required Bitcoin amount itself increases. It seems designed to maximize that sunk cost feeling, I've come this far, I can't quit now.
Yeah. And that moment, that switch from I finally made it to, wait, the rules are different now. That seems to be the breaking point for many. We saw some really blunt feedback. One user review, very short, just said, this app does not withdraw, period.
That kind of comment, well, it points fingers directly at it being a potential Bitcoin scam, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Regardless of the game itself.
it does. And when you synthesize all these reports, the conclusion leans, well, pretty strongly towards the payouts being fake. The two big things you hear over and over are requirements constantly changing and withdrawal requests just never, ever completing. It really signals a system likely built just for harvesting data and getting ad views.
So the practical advice then, for you listening, is pretty straightforward, actually. If you choose to use an app like Bitcoin Master or similar ones, treat it purely as entertainment. Like any free mobile game, just for fun. Definitely don't go in expecting guaranteed earnings or, frankly, reliable withdrawals. The evidence just isn't there.
So, summing up our deep dive here, there's a clear split. The game might be engaging, maybe even fun for a bit, but that's totally separate from the financial side, from the reliability of actually getting any Bitcoin out. Data suggests you probably weren't.
Right. And this whole thing raises a much bigger question for you, the listener, to think about next time you see a play-to-earn app. Before you get drawn in by the flashy game or the big reward promise, stop. First thing to check. The withdrawal policy. Is there actual proof of people getting paid consistently and without hassle? That mechanism, how you get money out, that's way more important than how the game itself plays. So what questions should you ask about the developer's track record, about payout proof, before you sink your time into it? Maybe mull that over.